All right, so our third authentication method, Rosefire, right? So why a third one, right? We already have Google, and it doesn't get much more convenient than that. Well, there are a lot of Rose-Hulman specific apps, right, where it makes sense to give Rose-Hulman users access to to their information, right, and to actually authenticate them against Rose-Hulman servers, right? So go Tyler, man. So he's been busy. So Rose-Hulman Authentication API, right? He created from scratch. And he has all of his code here. So there's not only Android, but also Swift for iOS, JavaScript, Python, Java, and Node. Tyler's got to be one of the most prolific coders that I know. Really amazing. This is actually even bigger than just Firebase, but it allows you to authenticate via LDAP and is going to give you a JSON web token. So very, very impressive. Nice little service here that Tyler's made for us. So we have some setup. Setup is going to be at rosefire.csse.rosehulman.edu, right? So we host this, and here is the here's the service itself. If you want to learn more about it, there's certainly this is a link actually into the Git repo and all sorts of stuff here. If you want sort of sequence diagram, you want to see what's there, you want examples, all there. Okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of follow through this here, and it's really pretty straightforward. This is just sort of I just tagged a couple sort of key things here, but we'll follow through and do it. So the first thing is go ahead and get started. All right, you're gonna need to type in your Rose-Hulman username and password just to make sure you're a member of the community. So you'll go ahead and do that and verify, and then you'll be verified. You're going to click next, and then it's going to ask whether you want to change any defaults or not, or whether you want to accept the defaults. And the default is something about tokens expiring. I'm just going to accept the defaults, should be fine. And then it's asking, are you doing this specific to Firebase or not? So we'll keep Firebase there. And then it's asking for a credentials file, right? So, and it says here you need to upload a service account JSON file. It can be generated by following step 2 of these instructions. So let's go ahead and click into this, and this is going to bring up a page here back in the Firebase documentation about using a custom auth system, which is what Rosefire is, and you're going to have to get the project server keys. So it says first of all go to the credentials page of the API console and select your project. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that guy. And it brings me into my Google APIs, into my credentials, like so. All right. And then it says click create credentials and service account key. So let's go in here. So create credentials, service account key, like so. And then it says that we want to select JSON as the key type. And it says any name that you want, right? So in here, so new well, all right. So I already did this here. New service account, blah, 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 whatever you want. It's going to create an ID, JSON, create. Okay, and if I hit create, then it's going to generate a JSON file that you can just store off in a specific place, right? So put it in your downloads folder or whatever. Okay. All right. So you'll have that. Okay. So automatically saved on your computer, and that's going to be a public-private key. Okay. And then it says copy to the authentication server. Okay. So from there, back to Tyler stuff. So we have to choose this file. So where are we here? JSON. So I had stored mine like so, and I'm going to click open. And this right here is a private key. Plenty of it here. This is the only place we have it, so don't lose the file, right? I mean, so once you do that, boom, there's the private key. And we're going to use this. We click generate, and then that's going to give us a token that you can then copy, right? And we're going to save it in our service. Okay. And that's really basically the whole step here. Now I'll mention that when you get the get this token here, There's different ways to save it, but you're going to save it in your program. Sometimes people will put it in a separate file and then keep that out of version control. They'll ignore it, for instance. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it in keys.xml under Rosefire key. So I still have it on my clipboard, and I'm going here into resources, values, right click, make a new values resource file, keys.xml. Okay. Don't add to Git. And then in here, I'll make a string Rosefire key, and then I'll paste mine in here like so. And let's see, meant to use an underscore key. All right, very good. And that is pretty much all the setup for this guy. So we've created that. It's all good. And I'll just say right here, when you're copying stuff around, you notice there was a copy button. That's because you need to get every character. Students have done this before. If you're a little bit sloppy with copying it, then it gives you like this failed to validate MAC error when you try to log in, and that's not really very helpful. Anyway, so that's our setup, right? And that is all for the setup. So next time we're going to write our code, right?